Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name remains Real Talk with Auntie Adune. And if you are my subscriber, thank you for staying on. And if you are a new subscriber, I want to say welcome to this page, to this channel. And if you are yet to subscribe, don't forget to subscribe as I go on. The story you're about to hear is my own experience, my own private and personal experience. And that is why I said whatever I say and do on my page are my truths. Okay, take whatever you think is okay, take whatever you think, leave whatever you think it's not okay. But trust me, some things that I say, if you are a worker, I would say a worker in all these Pentecostal churches, you will just be denying yourself the truth if you say what I'm saying is not the truth. And if you have not experienced what I've said, of course, not everybody will experience it. Not everybody will need the help of the church. But some will do at a point in their lives. And that is when they will relate with the truth I am about to say in this video and the subsequent ones I will be posting. I and my husband joined the Redeemed Christian Church of God as a worker in the early 90s. And that was when Freedom was expanding, posting everywhere. So we're one of the workers that was posted along with a pastor and some of other workers to start a parish in Umulano Drive. No, in VI. We went to VI first, in Victoria Island. As at this time, we live in Orile. So we go from Orile to Victoria Island. You might want to start wondering, like today now at this present time, if anybody would tell me I need to go so far to worship one God, I would tell that person, please go and sleep, because it will never happen again. Yes, we had to go from Orile, especially every Sunday, which is the service day, general service day. And because we are workers, I was in the sanitation department. Yes, that's how they call it then. In the sanitation department, and my husband was in the protocol and usher department. It was combining like 2 or 3 portfolios in the church then. Very useful, very zealous, very giving everything. And also I was giving everything. I was in the sanitation department and also the children's department. So by 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m., we will get to the church. Let me tell you here that the place we are using for church was actually a clubhouse in VI. You know how busy clubhouses are on weekends, especially Fridays and Saturdays. So we come in on Sunday morning very early. Most times, I and my husband are the first to get to the church. He will be arranging the chairs, cleaning up the chairs, putting the pulpit and everything, standing everything, while I am there in the bathroom, cleaning up the bathroom and sweeping the floor, making everywhere clean. And the rest of workers will join us as the time goes on. So because of this, the pastor loved us so much, even though the pastor too was a slave. Yes, I called us slaves at that time. So we'll get the church ready, and we leave Orile at that time as early as 5 a.m. We are out on Sundays. So this is why I talk and say no peace for anyone that is a worker in Pentecostal churches. You can never have peace and rest. So we wake up, we get there very early, and most times we are the last people to leave, because my husband, being an usher, has to count money and everything, with some other ushers. It was a small church then, so we know every one of us. We were trying to grow. And one thing I should tell you is that when we were sent out, I don't know how much they were sent out with, because my husband wasn't the pastor then, so I don't know. But I know levies was always put on us. I was the one buying the cleaning detergent and everything to take to go clean up the church. And I remember I would use my bare hands to clean up toilets used by Ashawu, like they call them. Clubhouse, how messy the place will be. I will be the one to use my bare hands, no gloves, to clean up the place. So, and it went on and on and on like that until we were again posted out again. Where we were posted out, the pastor, I think, wanted to start his own church at that time. If I can remember now, I think he was about to go start his own church. So we were all moved to another parish to go and start another parish. This was the time Redeem was just gaining ground. This was the time Pastor Adeboye said God told him that for every 5 minutes walk, you will see a Redeem. The Redeem is taking over. As at this time, there was competition between Redeem and Winners Chapel. We don't really relate and we don't really do things together at that time. Winners feel Redeem. Redeem especially feel Winners are not really Christians, that they are pompous and all that. That was the mindset we have then. If you are a member of these churches, you will remember in those days, except you don't want to be truthful to yourself, that is the feelings we have concerning each other. We believe Redeem is the Jim. We came to meet a Redeem that doesn't wear earring, but Freedom All, that is a Papa family, changed all that protocol of not putting on earring, wearing very long skirts and all that. A Papa family changed everything. We were posted out to another parish again, this time around closer to us. That was in Surulere, Ogunlana Drive, precisely. And I remember there was a brother there, we call him Brother Ngozi, very jovial, very nice man. One thing I didn't tell you at that time was that we live in a one-room apartment together as a couple. We just got married. And we didn't marry in Redeem. We married before we got... No, we were in Redeem before we got married. But because my parents are Muslim, we didn't involve the church. So we got married. And we were posted out to Ogunlana Drive again. So when we got to Ogunlana Drive, that brother loved the zealousness he saw in me and my husband. And he gave us an apartment close to his house for a few months to just stay there before. And as at that time, my husband just got a job. So we were just trying to find our feet as a couple then. Very young couple then. So, and it was easy. By then, that building was where the church was then. The church was in that building. The building was on lease by that Brother Ngozi. It was using it as a factory where it does packaged fruit juice then. So he gave us a space to be using in the church. I didn't remember to tell you that when we were in that Victoria Island parish, it was called Restoration Chapel then. My husband, I go only on Sundays, and if there is night vigil, I go because of distance. But my husband is always there on midweek service on Tuesdays. I think it was Tuesdays then. Tuesdays, Saturdays, and on Sundays. So my husband go 3 times there. He was working in Isolo, but he would still find his way to Victoria Island every day. So you can imagine what stress we were being put through. But then we thought we were working for God. If I know what I know now, honestly, I won't go through what I went through then. Because what I think working for God should be helping mankind, Of course, there can be church where people can gather, but it shouldn't involve so much stress. Oyinbo that gave us church don't open their churches until Sunday, and it's only for like 1 hour, maximum 2 hours, both for workers and everybody. I've gone with them to their churches. I've followed them, maybe on Sundays, and before you know it, before you can see Jack Robinson, church is over. 45 minutes. Pastors don't preach more than 30 minutes, and everybody's going. And you don't see them preaching about money, preaching for this or doing any miracle. They just say the grace and they go. They don't even do any long prayer. They will not say, oh yeah, everybody stand up, let us pray. And they begin to do shakaraba. I have followed them, so I know what I'm saying. So being here has really opened my brain to a lot of things that I never knew before. So to go back to the days of the new parish that they were posted to again, the second time, which was in Ogunlana Drive. Remember I said we lived here, so it was much easier. And I was still in the sanitation department, in charge of cleaning and washing and making sure the church is clean. And of course, when you are zealous like that, pastors love you, okay? So we were there for a while. Then we have to move. Remember I told you somebody gave us an apartment for just 6 months. and we have to move. So it was time for us to move. When we were to move, we now moved to Palm Grove. And by then, my husband was climbing the ladder of his career gradually, whereby he's always attending one meeting or the other. So we thought of it, we come together and we got transfer from the parish to another parish close to us in Palm Grove. So that when he finishes from work, from service late in the night, it will be easy for him to go home. So we got a transfer and we joined Grace Tabernacle in Palm Grove. Then it's still on the major road, I'm very sure, on the major road of Palm Grove. So we joined that parish. And of course, I continued as a teacher in the children's department, and I was still in sanitation. And of course, still zealous, we think we are working for God. Of course, we are putting everything in us. And like I was saying, that all this time that we were being sent out as workers, then we are involved in financing the church. For example, they want to pay rent, we contribute. They will levy everybody as a worker. And that's when I'm not talking to people who just carry Bible and go to churches. No, I am talking about people who are deeply involved. So as a worker, you are expected, from number one, your tithes must be regular. You must give offering. When it comes to setting up the church, you are also involved. You will be levied and you have to pay it, even if you have to pay it in bits or borrow money to pay it. So that is how it goes. So don't be surprised when you are seeing some things now. It has always been. But many people don't talk about it because we consider it abomination. We consider it that it's a sin to talk on these things. We don't consider it as freedom of speech, of expression. We don't consider it as freedom of opinion. So we were always levied. All this while that we keep moving from one parish to the other. The other parish, the last one we moved to before we started becoming a pastor, was Grace Tabernacle. It was a set up church already. We made them set up. But of course, as somebody that was deeply involved as workers, we were still following levies. At this stage that I'm talking, I was almost 4 or 5 years in marriage, no child, and panic was setting in. In my next video, I'm going to tell you how I became a mother. I'm going to tell you how I believe man of God. I'm going to tell you how I was a fool. Yes, a fool. Because all this while that we were going, we don't stop going to camp too. In the process of going for service, going for midweek service, going for workers meeting, we're going for special meeting, ministers meeting. As at that time, my husband has become a minister in the church. I was just a worker. So all those things, all those burden were on us, and we still have to go to camp. So each time we go to camp, my cries are always, Lord, bless me with a child. Bless with me the child. So we kept going. So in my next episode, which you should look out for, I'll continue to tag my experience. So this is part 1. I don't want it to be long. So I don't know if I have been a worker in church or if you are a worker in Redeem. If you think there's anything I mix up or anything I have added that you're not supposed to, please say it in the comment section. I will be reading comments as you're putting it down. Until I come your way again with the second part, with this continue part, don't stop putting down your comments. And if you have not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. And if you are a subscriber, I know we are together. Thanks for everybody. Especially there is a sister, Caroline or something, that has been saying, I think I can't wait to hear your story. So I have started the story. This is the first part of that story. My experience in Redeemed Christian Church of God. Thank you very much.